Dave Ramsey says VA home loans are for children. That isn't just wrong, it's downright insulting. Today, I'm diving deep into why Dave Ramsey is way off target when it comes to the VA home loan and what veterans truly need to know when buying a home. First, let's talk about Dave's claim that VA loans are full of hidden and gotcha fees. He's right that some loans can have fees, but what he's missing is that VA loans are the most transparent loan out there. Now, sure, there is the VA funding fee, right? However, if you have a service-connected disability, you don't pay it. And if you don't have a service-connected disability, it's actually rolled into the actual loan amount. So therefore, there is no out-of-pocket expense to you. Then there's the whole grown-up versus child thing, right? I mean, first off, if we were living in a perfect world, Dave expects you to save up to 15 to 20% down and do a 15-year mortgage, right? I don't think he realizes that most active duty or veteran service members that serve during their career have less than 6,000 liquid assets at any given time during their service. Saving 15 to 20% down would literally take decades. And honestly, with the rate of inflation and appreciation of homes, you're never going to be competitive because you're never going to be able to save enough money to actually buy a home or put a down payment on a home. By the time a veteran saves up 15 to 20% for a down payment on a home that they've been looking at, the appreciation of the home will be even more than when they first started. I'll be honest, Dave's advice doesn't really account for that reality. I want you to think about this. Dave Ramsey has over $600 million in real estate. Let that sink in for just a moment, right? While he's giving advice to veterans, who might have little to no assets, he's sitting on millions. It's easy for him to say, oh, just save up, right? But that's not really realistic for those who have served our country.
Number two, VA loans. The reason most people gravitate towards a VA loan is you can get you can get a house with nothing down. Which means you're too dead broke to buy a house.
Dave Ramsey loves to say that using the VA home loan to buy a home means you're broke, busted, and disgusted, right? And that only a child buys a home with no down payment. But here's the reality. This is one of the most awesome benefits you've earned through your service to this great country. I know, I've used it multiple times, right? It's not about being broke. It's about taking advantage of one of the most awesome, beneficial loan products out there that we've earned, right? I know civilians that literally will say, damn, Jay, I wish I could buy a home. And I say, you know what? The recruiting center is literally right just down the road, right? I mean, think about it. No PMI, lower interest rates, and probably the largest benefit, the one that sticks out the most, is you're able to buy a home with no money down, right? Buying a home with no money down using the VA home loan benefit is not a childish decision. It's a smart financial move for many veterans that have used it to this day.
There's kind of two types of areas that military bases and installations are around. Okay, there's the small town that is a military town, and so constantly there's a stream of houses that are being put on the market and sold because they're constantly moving military people in and out of there. That usually hurts the market. You get ready to sell because there's a huge supply of other people trying to sell, and consequently the prices don't go up quite as much. So the other type of base or installation they put you in is in the metro area, or an area that for whatever reason has a very hot economy. And so, you're in the Navy and you're in San Diego. Well, that economy, that market's booming independent of the military. And so if you get ready to sell there, you can sell that house and it will have gone up in value.
Another point that Dave kind of tries to make, but really doesn't make any sense, he tries to say that most military members only buy in two potential markets, small towns or metropolitan areas, right? And if you look at the graphic that I'm about to put in this video as well, you'll see that that's not always the case. Additionally, he feels that you shouldn't buy a home, especially if you're going to be moving every 3 years, which I'm including that part of the video from one of his actual broadcasts also, right? And let's be honest, most military members don't sell their home every 3 years that they move, right? They're building a portfolio like I did myself over 14 years of buying and selling homes knowing when to hold on to them, when to potentially get rid of them, and when to actually sell them, right? What Dave doesn't seem to understand is that most military buyers right now are much more savvy than they used to be, and they're very well educated on the markets that they're moving into. Now, to be fair, Dave does bring up two really good points out of all the videos that I've watched. And these are two questions that he recommends that everyone should ask. So when you're getting ready to move into a new market, one of the questions that you should ask the real estate agent is, hey, what does the appreciation look like year over year here where I'm getting ready to move into, right? Now, keep in mind, most professionals should be able to say, hey, historically, this is what we've seen, anywhere from 3 to 5, 1, whatever the percentage is over a 10-year period. The professionals that, and I say that loosely, that are just trying to, get you to buy a home will say, well, I can guarantee you're going to see 3.5%. And I'll be honest with you, nobody can guarantee anything because that would require a crystal ball. And if you got a crystal ball, I want to go with you to Vegas and pick the winning numbers next week, right? All right. The second good point that Dave actually brings up is you should also know, hey, when we get ready to sell a home in this market, how many average days on market does each listing last, right? And that's another great question. But I think Dave fell short a little bit because there's a third question, believe it or not, that served me very well throughout my career of buying multiple homes over the last 14 years. And that is, when you're going into a new market, you need to ask the realtor, hey, where I'm wanting to live, is this an appreciation market or is it a cash flow market, right? Because if it's an appreciation market, Dave slightly hinted on that in the earlier part of this video where he talked about like San Diego, saying that's a hot market irregardless of the military being there. And typically in 3 years, homes appraise a lot in value and you can make a lot of money. He didn't talk about a cash flow market, kind of like where I bought my first home, actually where I did buy my first home, outside of Columbus, Georgia, and Smith Station, Alabama, right next to Fort Benning, Georgia, now Fort Moore, Georgia. That was a cash flow market. Bought a home at a very low price, had a very low mortgage. I had a PCS sooner than 3 years, but I was able to rent it out for more than $400 more a month than my actual mortgage note. So therefore, I was $400 a month cash flow positive. And I did it for 10 years. You do the quick math, that's $48,000 someone else was paying towards my mortgage. Very important questions to know. But like I said, at least Dave got 2 out of the 3. So in closing, as I've said in the past, I respect Dave Ramsey for his advice on financial matters in regards to, basically getting rid of debt, right? And how to build wealth. However, when it comes to the VA home loan, he completely misses the target. And if you're a veteran, don't get lost in the noise, right? The VA home loan benefit is literally one of the most important benefits that you've ever earned through your service to this country. And you deserve to understand truly how it works. And if you've still got questions about the VA home loan benefit, leave them in the comments below. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll be happy to help you no matter what you need. Make it a great day. Thanks for watching, and aloha. Thank you so much for watching. This is where you get the real deal, not the raw deal. Hope to see you again soon. Aloha.